All right, question 3 says solve each equation by completing the square. And looking at part A, we have x squared plus 6x is equal to 7. And based on our discussion of completing the square in the last video, okay, I know that I can find this number here such that when I add it to the x squared and the 6x, the resulting expression will be a perfect square. Okay, so whatever I add on to the left, I'm going to have to add on the same thing to the right because I have an equation here, right? So to maintain equality, I have to balance things out. And so let's go ahead and figure out what it is we need to tack on here. Well, this is actually the same expression, right, as question 2, part A, x squared plus 6x. So what we did there is we took half of this coefficient 6, and that gave us 3. And then to find this number that you tack on, right, that's where you square this number 3, and that's going to give us 9 in this case. So if I add on 9 here, then I have to add on 9 here. And now this thing I see on the left-hand side, this is a perfect square. And what square is it? Well, it's the square of x plus 3, right? That 3 in the binomial is just half of this coefficient 6. All right, the right-hand side is 7 and 9, and that's 16. And so now we're in pretty good shape. We can go ahead and just take square roots. Have a plus or minus here. So that gives us x plus 3 on the left, and that's equal to plus or minus 4. All right, and then let's go ahead and subtract 3 from both sides. And so we get x is equal to minus 3 plus or minus 4. And there's two cases to consider. So if I have a positive 4, then x is minus 3 plus 4, which is 1. And if I use the minus sign, then x is minus 3 minus 4, and that's minus 7. So our solutions here are x is equal to either 1 or negative 7. Okay, cool. Part B, x squared minus 8x minus 2 is 0. So to get set up in the same way that we saw in part A, okay, I'd like there to be just the square term, this linear term, and then the constant term over on the right. So I'll start here by adding 2 to both sides. And so now we're looking at x squared minus 8x on the left and 2 on the right. And now we'll go ahead and just mimic what we did in part A. So we have x squared minus 8x. So we're going to start by figuring out what we need to add on here. So this resulting expression on the left is a perfect square. And whatever I add on to the left, I got to do the same thing to the right. So here we're going to take half of negative 8, which is negative 4. And then I'm going to square negative 4. And that's going to give us 16. So if I add 16 here on the left side, I have to add 16 on the right. And now this trinomial on the left is a perfect square. And it is x minus 4 quantity squared. All right, on the right, we have 2 and 16, that's 18. So now go ahead and take square roots. And so that gives us x minus 4 is equal to plus or minus, and now square root of 18 we can break down because 18 is 9 times 2, and 9 is a perfect square, so this will simplify as 3 times the square root of 2. And so we have x minus 4 is plus or minus 3 times the square root of 2, and now go ahead and add 4 to both sides. And and we arrive at the solutions x is equal to 4 plus or minus 3 times the square root of 2. All right, and that's going to do it. Thanks so much.